Good morning or afternoon or evening whenever you are watching this video and doing your homework. I would like to do a little bit of practice before we get into lesson 107. Here we go. Let's divide. 34 goes into 1965 how many times? Well, we can't do 19. So what's 196 divided by 34? I know you cheated and you looked over to the right and saw that it was 5. I'm just teasing. Anyways, it is 5, and if you were to do your work as quick as the computer does, you would find your answer of 57 with a remainder of 27. You can go through and check their work. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 3 plus 2 is 17. I get a remainder of 26. Is that remainder adequate? Yes, it is. Bring down my 5. 265 divided by 34 should be 7. That is correct. Can I have 27 as a remainder? Yes, I can, because it's less than my, what was this called again? 34 is the divisor. Let's go ahead and skip this one for right now, and let's move on to our lesson for today. I have got a set of squares. How many total squares do I have? I have 12. If I asked you, what is a fourth of the 12 squares? Well, a fourth would be, okay, let me look at my denominator. My denominator is 4. So how many pieces do I need to break up 12 into? I need to break it up into 4 different pieces, which is what I've done here. Let me get my pen so I can draw if I need to. I've got a set here. I've got a set here. Don't you love my beautiful circles? I've got 4 sets of how many? 3. So what would a fourth, just a fourth of 12 be? It would be 3. 1/4 of 12 equals 3. And guess what? I can use my lesson from yesterday to figure that out. What is 1/4? What does that word of mean? In our math language, it means multiplication. So what is 1/4 times 12, or 12 over 1? That's 12 divided by 4, which is what, class? 3. So 1/4 of 12 is equal to 3. And this is just shown in picture form. That, yes, if I were to divide this up into 4 different sets, I would have groups of 3. Let's do another one. What about 2/4 of 12? What is 2/4 simplified to? A half, right? So if 1/4 of 12 is 3, and 2 times 1/4 of 12, 2 times 3, go back up here. What is 2/4 of 12 then? That would be 6 as well. So 1/4 of 12 is 3, but how many fourths of 12 am I dealing with? I'm dealing with 2/4. So 2 times 3 is 6. That might be a little bit confusing, but let's keep going. What about 3/4 of 12? Well, 1/4 of 12 was equal to 3. How many 1/4s do I have? Well, I've got 3/4. So 3 times 1, excuse me, didn't mean to cross through that. So if I have 3 sets of 1/4 times 12, I've got 3 times 3, because 1/4 of 12 is the same as 3. I've got 9. Let's keep going. What do you think? So 3/4, going back here, 3/4 of 12 is equal to 9. If you need to go back to the previous slide where it shows all the squares, feel free to do so. You can see it down here in the bottom screen there. You've got your 4 sets of 3. So 3/4 would be 9. What would 4/4 of 12 be? Well, what is 4/4? That's equal to a whole. So how many pieces would be in the whole? Let's go all the way to the final answer. 12. So 1/4 of 12 is 3. 2/4 of 12 was what? 6. 3/4 of 12 was 9. 4/4 of 12 was 12. Are we seeing a pattern here? And just like I said earlier, what can we take out right here? What does of mean in our mathematical language? What operation does of mean? Multiplication. So we can plug in multiplication for all of these and solve for the correct answer. Here we go. What if I have 1/3 times 12? Well, again, look at your denominator to see how many sets are the squares divided into. Well, they're divided into sets of 3. There's a set of 3, there's a set of 3, there's another one, and there's another one. I've got 4 sets of 3. How many total squares? I've got 12. If I only wanted to take just a third of these, actually, you know what? I circled them the wrong way. Oh no, guess what? Miss Fuller can make mistakes even on PowerPoint. I should have circled them this way. Did anybody catch that? I'm thinking it was maybe Chad that caught my mistake there. But if I have a third of 12, that means that I have 4 total squares. 1/3 times 12 is equal to 4. So what do you think 2/3 times 12 is? Hopefully you said 8. And what about 3/3 of 12, or 3/3 times 12? That would be 12. That would be the whole. So 1/3 times 12 is 4. 2/3 times 12 is 8. And 3/3 times 12 is 12. What if I have 2/3 of 9? So I've got 9 total squares here, and they're divided into sets of 3. What if I just chose 2/3? How many squares would I have? 6. What about half of 10? I've got 10 squares. How much would half be? Hopefully you said 5. What about this one? Try not to look at the next page. 3/4 of 8. How many would 3/4 of 8 be? That would be 6. Alright, hopefully you're getting the hang of this. What about 1/4 of 4? That'd just be 1. 2/3 of 10 would be, what do we do with this of right here? Pull it out, put in a multiplication sign. 2 times 10, multiply your numerators. Remember, you can always set a number over 1 to give yourself a numerator and a denominator. So 2 times 10 is my numerator. 3 times 1, which is just 3, is 20 over 3. As a mixed number is 6 2/3. Let's do one more story problem, and then we will get started on some of our example problems. Eric's soccer team scored 20 goals in one season. He scored 3/5 of the goals. Is Eric a good soccer player? I think so. How many goals did Eric score for his team then? Well, a couple different ways that you can do it. One, you could draw 20 soccer balls to represent all of the goals that he made. Let's see, that's 6, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20. You could do that, and then you could figure out, okay, well, divide all the soccer balls up into groups of 5, and I need 3 of those groups of 5s, but there's a much simpler way to do it. Let's just multiply. Excuse my soccer balls in the way. 3/5 times 20. Well, I can multiply 3 times 20 in the numerator all over 5, which is equal to 60 divided by 5. What's 60 divided by 5, class? 12. And we need the term goals. We need our units there. What? 12 what? Well, 12 goals. All right, let me make sure I don't want to do anything else here. What about 4/10 of 10 candies? This is just review from yesterday. All right, the next video will show example problems from the lesson.